toilet paper roll attached to a ceiling fan, duct taped to his person.
Well, so
Like this sounds like MacGyver with Down syndrome.
exactly.
Hey, we're back all over the place with Corey and Sean one more time. And as you can probably see, Sean is not with us today. He had a little mishap. And, well, I'm just going to take the time right now to dedicate this episode right here to all of the do-it-yourselfers like Sean.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers.
T's and P's. And I'm also going to make a request of the soft drink bottling industry to please stop using glass bottles.
Yes.
They're easily recyclable, but they are dangerous. They can be a hazard.
Yeah. I mean,
Just make them wider.
for the sake of the do-it-yourselfers, or at least take the ridges out so they're less pleasurable.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, a little amount of consideration would be appreciated.
Yeah, and since this is dedicated to the do-it-yourselfers like Sean, I'm going to let the research department take over on this one. Take her away.
What you got, Casey?
Well, first and foremost, thoughts are with you, Sean. Hope your stitches don't rip. Anyway, so I recently came upon a story that, quite a few stories, as a matter of fact, and I did some research, and apparently it's not quite as rare as people might imagine. And basically...
Okay, when you say it...
Well,
it is not quite as
people,
rare. What are we talking about? It.
Well, now some people might be a little uncomfortable, say going into a sex shop and buying dildos or whatever it is.
You get over that real quick.
Sure.
Yeah. Prudes.
But
everybody else there is also a pervert. So
but
you're good.
Yeah.
These same
Otherwise,
people,
you would go somewhere else.
Sure. But also, these same people sometimes they get creative at home. And sometimes when they get creative at home, it doesn't work out quite the way they think.
You have a little mishap.
Yes. And
equipment failure.
But so I figured that we go through a few of these stories and see what everybody thought. And if you have any comments, questions, just put them in the comments.
Like, subscribe, share, comment.
But also, feel free to fact check anything he is saying here.
Absolutely.
I mean, if nothing else, we strive for excellence and complete and total accuracy.
Yes. So
take it away.
To start with, we have a story from Reddit that a gentleman.
There are gentlemen on Reddit.
Yes. And
Not
he didn't have a girlfriend, and he hurt himself with a homemade sex toy. Shocker.
Okay. Well, you say homemade. What were the components that comprise this?
Yeah,
sex
let's
toy?
get some ideas. Because
a power drill and a pool noodle. And also, I forget what kind of inside it was like.
Holy, wait a minute here.
Yes. Take a guess as to how he pulled that off. No pun intended.
Well,
how would you do that with the drill? Would you need like a lathe or something to be able to?
No, well, the pool noodles all typically have holes in them.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah, but how are you going to? Well, I guess you cut a piece off.
But is it? Are you telling me this guy was so fucking crude in his construction of this sex toy that he just ran his drill bit into the one side of this pool noodle and his dick in the other?
That is precisely what I'm saying.
So he bored out his pee hole?
Well, no. So apparently,
surely to God he took the bit out first.
He
put
some kind of velvet material on the inside of it.
Ooh.
Oh, that'll stop a fucking rotating blade of steel.
Well, the real problem was, as everybody knows in construction, you measure twice and cut once. He did not. And so I'm guessing he overestimated or underestimated the length of his deal.
He took an 8-inch stroke with a 3-inch dick?
Yes. So apparently he was, as he claims in the story, is he says that He was working it with the pool noodle, just tentatively at first, just putting the tip, just getting used to it. And eventually, he cranked her up to, rock and roll and decided to do full thrust. And
he figured out this bitch had teeth?
Yes, and his foreskin got caught.
You didn't tell me he was uncircumcised.
Yes, he was the old corn dog. And the breading got stuck in the power drill and twisted it off.
Jesus Christ.
Ripped it and caused massive bleeding.
It's a homemade moil.
Yes, exactly.
I bet it looked like somebody was wringing out a fucking washcloth.
Yeah, it just...
oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
You know what though? Without the foreskin, that was a bad thought. But you add the foreskin, and it just gets so much worse.
Yes.
It's like to have your fucking dick skin forcibly ripped off
by a power drill.
But at least we know how, an industrial way to make snakeskin boots.
Fuck yeah.
Wayne boots.
Our Wayne boots. Callback.
So know what they're going to be made of.
Call back to a show you didn't watch. Watch our back catalog because there's some funny ones in there.
Yeah.
There's some turds, but there's some funny ones.
There's totally some turds.
The key is to watch the ones that don't have as many views because those are the good ones.
Yeah.
Stupid algorithm.
Yeah, fucking YouTube.
Yeah, the ones we're actually proud of, YouTube isn't. But
like, are you fucking serious?
We've been shadow banned because of our factual truth stuff.
Because of my researching capabilities. They cannot stand this type of accuracy.
I hate to fucking tell you, you've probably been put on a lot of fucking lists because of your research.
That's true. That's true. Just delete my browser history.
So YouTube's the least of your worries.
DEA, AARP.
How do you get on that list?
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, but anyway.
It starts with Craigslist.
Hey. Craigslist is a legal organization.
Tell me.
Everything starts with Craigslist.
How many of these fucking monstrosities did you find on Craigslist for today's episode?
Oddly enough, none.
Then you clearly weren't looking at Craigslist.
But we can probably go on to Craigslist and find some of these contraptions.
Something, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure, absolutely.
Like there has to be something on there to fucking match it.
The actual stories, I had to go to Reddit. I went to a few questionable websites, I guess. Oddly enough, they're asking if I'm 18.
I'm guessing you're probably the only one asking the questions. Everybody else has got their mind made up. Mr. Fogel.
Hey, whatever. I love those kids. If they want to love me back, that's their business.
That's what
if they don't want to love you back, that's also their business.
No, then it becomes my business. But so anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
We had.
Can we please move on?
So this is the one mostly I just wanted to get reactions because this one is I don't even understand how this was best case scenario. I don't understand how it was supposed to work. So we have a gentleman again from Reddit who almost had his dick ripped off by a ceiling fan. So any guesses first off how you think it might happen?
First off, if you can reach the ceiling fan, I would tell that story to everyone.
Well, he didn't reach it.
Definitely let that out.
He didn't use a crank. He didn't crank himself up to it. He didn't the ceiling fan wasn't hitting him or anything. It just he was using it for.
He was just
oscillation.
saying if your dick's big enough to reach the ceiling fan.
Well, yeah,
Dumbass.
okay. I thought you meant he was stacking shit up and stuck his dick in a ceiling fan.
To me, the only way that this could start in my fucking head is with a little doll on a tricycle rolling across the floor and going, "What do you want to play a game?"
Well, he wanted to play his own games apparently. So
how would you? Hold on, I'm picturing. I will reverse MacGyver this.
Reverse engineer some dude's fucked up sex toy.
I'm gonna Bob Lazar this shit.
It's like I got an extra string for my boot.
He can turn into a fucking jigsaw trap.
I cannot figure.
Do you have pictures? Did his dick end up like that one guy in the Temple of Doom when Indy wrapped his whip around his neck and threw it in the fan? Probably a similar noise.
Kind of in a way.
But he was arched backwards.
Yes.
Gross.
So this gentleman, it never gives his name, so I don't know who he is. I don't have a name or
Make
location.
a name up for him.
Sean County.
Ceiling Fan Mick Johnson. I don't fucking know.
Okay, Ceiling Fan Mick Johnson.
Anyway,
He's got one hell of a body of work.
Not very imaginative, but
I'm a fan. I'm subscribed to his channel.
he took a toilet paper roll and stuffed it with wet toilet paper and some sort of paper mache type material.
So it sounds like he's already just shooting spitballs at the fucking fan.
Sure. But then he duct taped it after he stuck his dick into the toilet paper roll. He duct taped it to his body and essentially, so then he took a string, a rope, whatever it was, and he attached it to one blade of his ceiling fan. And his thoughts initially were that as the blade spun away from him, it would pull it out, and then it would pull it in and out and in and out and in and out. You get it. Like, it would create a thrusting oscillation.
Yeah,
motion.
yeah.
The problem
I can, of which there are many.
is...
I don't see a problem with this at all. I don't know.
Only the obvious ones.
Nothing could possibly go wrong here.
Yeah. Especially with a fucking masterful execution.
Well, so anyway,
Masturbateful is execution.
he said
He should have just masturbated with his hand. It would have been safer.
yes, manual masturbation, kids. It's just safe. No strings, no ropes. Nobody.
Just crystals and confidence.
Yes, crystals.
No STDs if you wash your hands first.
Exactly. But so
And
anyway,
afterwards, it's just for,
I ain't worried about infecting other people. I just don't want the shit.
You're right.
sure. But so anyway, the problem was that the toilet paper and paper mache mixture dried.
Please tell me it made of cement.
Essentially. And so now here's his stick stuck in a toilet paper roll, and it's attached to a ceiling fan. Now
Cemented to a toilet paper roll.
Cemented to a toilet paper toilet paper roll attached to a ceiling fan, duct taped to his person.
well, so
Like, this sounds like MacGyver with Down syndrome.
exactly. And so now, if anybody knows, ceiling fans, you have the two little chains you pull.
It's discount gender affirming care.
Yes, it's a free sexual reassignment. But anybody knows, the chains that you pull, and when you pull on the fan,
Yeah.
Well, I assume he had it. He said
got the light by mistake.
Well, no, he did the light. Well, I guess anyway.
Wondered why it wasn't slowing down.
Well, as you know, it's almost
He was trying to dim the light for mood.
Mood lighting, yeah.
But
And then it turned out he just felt like he was slipping in and out of consciousness as his dick was being ripped off.
well, so as he's pulling on the chain, as anybody knows, it's like impossible to gauge this. You just have to click it until it's going as fast as you want it to go. Well, apparently he clicked it one too many times or something, and it went. And it
I don't
basically.
know why the first click is always high speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Shouldn't you work up to it, not down?
You would think. And
But-
then you would know whether you turned it off or not.
But
Yeah.
so he hit the clicker, and it essentially turned into an airplane prop, and yanked, and
Woo!
and apparently he did indeed pass out from the pain. And when he woke up,
As one does.
or I guess came to or whatever. I just wonder if somebody walked in on him and the fan's spinning and his dick's just going around in circles.
Like, what the fuck did you do?
But he said he woke
I
up.
had a great idea.
said
There's
he-
something wrong with my ceiling fan.
but he's apparently
We need to get it worked on.
he woke up and the shaft of his penis was bleeding and most of his pubes had been ripped out from the duct tape. But he did get the toilet paper roll off.
The heliocopter.
And so I guess
The fact that his pubes got ripped out, to me, I don't know why that's the best part of this whole thing.
because it did a free whack job.
It's like, of all the things you figure is going to go wrong, ripping his fucking ball hair out. Like, that sounds like somebody just pulled a fucking prank on him.
But apparently, according to his post, it was a one and done. He did not do a reunion tour with the
Coward.
Pussy.
with the
Grow
ceiling
some
fan
ball
o'
hair
love.
and get it back up there.
With the ceiling fan o' love. So that was a good one. But next,
Mr. Play It Safe was afraid to fly.
isn't it ironic that you don't have any dick hair
He
left?
taped a tube to his balls and kissed his pubes goodbye.
But to to keep it going, we have
Somebody walk in the room, the tape slaps him in the face,
with all his
and the
pubes.
pubes look like a fucking unibrow.
It'd be like when a kid, like, you tie a model airplane to it so that it flies.
But it's full of his pubes and like peeled off dick skin.
Oh my God! Next,
Okay, this next one. If you have a sensitive stomach, please stop watching. This one is a bit on the. I don't know if you want to say. I guess it is homemade, but it's natural. It's from the earth, and it's more of an urban legend because there are reports that someone tried it, but not to the extent that they claim it is. Claire Bimmel.
we're passing this off as totally factual information. It's not an urban legend. Somebody did it.
Well, somebody did do it, but
It's a wink. See me winking?
oh yeah, okay. Well, apparently a Claire Bimmel of Norfolk, Virginia, a 22-year-old woman.
That's Frederica's mom, isn't it?
Yes.
No, sister.
Well, I thought it was her aunt.
No, I don't know.
I don't know who any of these fucking people are.
Anyway,
Skip it.
that's not
Skip
the
to
point.
end.
So she apparently
You
went.
knew Jim Pemry, but you don't know Frederica Bemmel?
No.
So anyway,
Movie.
so anyway, so this woman went to the grocery store and she bought a live lobster.
Okay.
So
Rock lobster.
yes, only it didn't rock quite as much. But so then she takes it home and decides to use its tail for pleasuring purposes. Now,
Yeah, because you turn it over because they fan that tail.
Yeah.
Probably get some G-spot action out of that.
Okay.
you would think.
I'm feeling
Well,
okay.
But apparently it was not flapping as much as she would have liked. So
Fapping.
well, as she was flapping, yes. But so she decided, in order to make it more lively, she took a cigarette lighter and stuck it up underneath it. And
What could possibly go wrong here?
I don't know.
well, apparently
Sounds like some
it was
pubes
also
are about to go yonder.
No, it's not quite in that direction. But apparently it was a pregnant lobster. And as she was pushing it up there, it squirted eggs or whatever
She's a mommy. Mazel tov.
Yes. And apparently 2 months later, she was admitted to the hospital with severe stomach cramps. And it turns out now there are versions of it, but the only thing is that she was admitted. So I would guess probably a UTI or something like that. But
Okay, you know what? I'm feeling more urban legend on this one too.
yeah, some people are like, oh no, she gave birth to baby lobsters. I don't know about that, but
We should find out if that's possible for science.
I guess uterus would be
Who's
at
going to
least
fork?
a-
You're throwing for a lobster.
So
Yeah.
just run upstairs.
Like,
See
fuck
if
no, we'll
she
just
be in for it.
raid the fucking tank at Red Lobster before they catch us.
Just grab it and run.
Like, just reach our arm in there for science and run out
She
the
call our
door.
old friend that used to work with us. That's boyfriend is doing a whole lot of time. We could
Sure.
probably talk her into lobstering.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
We don't have to tell her that this could happen.
I have no doubt she knows her way around crabs. Why would lobsters be any different?
Huh? Yeah, there we go.
There you go. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. But so again, lobster woman. There is some evidence, but it's scant. So
I'm feeling like that. You're right. That's of the earth. That's not really homemade. We're looking for homemade contraptions that went awry more so
Sure,
than
sure.
than defiling nature.
Well, we also have the Harrigans of Maryland.
The what?
It was a couple in Maryland who, I guess, they took turns on the same dildo, but the dildo was not quite as the thrusting wasn't as robust as they wanted, so they basically mounted it onto the blade of a reciprocating saw. Now, for 200 points, who can see where this is going to go wrong?
The blade.
Yes.
Yeah.
They didn't remove the blade.
Don't take the blade out and make it a special attachment with no teeth.
Yes. No, they left the teeth intact. Stuck it.
Well, there's your mistake.
Stuck their dildo right on there.
That's some rookie shit right there.
Yeah.
It's amateur hour. So anyway, as I guess
sawed their fucking taint.
the boyfriend, yes. It as she
That's
was
a gentleman. He went first.
He got his own episiotomy.
He's like, I wonder if it was, like some kind of Cinderella moment. It's like, no, madam.
I shall sit on it first.
You will peg me until I have been properly pegged.
Pegasus.
But anyway, so
Peg me with that sawzall winch.
Behold the Pegasus.
So strangely enough,
Is it?
it cut through the rubber of the dildo.
Probably went right through it like fucking butter.
I'm sure it couldn't have taken more than 5 seconds.
Yeah.
He probably only got a few.
It's like, I didn't think that my anus was elastic enough to hold it
So
steady.
he doesn't have a taint anymore, and his dildo's ruined.
Yep. Cut straight through the
Wow.
middle of it.
What a dumbass. Why didn't he just tie his dick
Double
to the fucking
whammy.
ceiling fan?
Exactly. I mean, shit. And but yeah, so that was, I guess you could give them some points for, the idea.
No,
but
they get no fucking points.
I award you no points, and may God have
It's like,
mercy on your soul.
if common sense or just a basic survival instinct didn't tell you that a fucking saw blade will go through a dildo like nothing, you don't get any points in my book.
I'm assuming it was probably battery powered, and they probably thought that maybe if we put it
Well,
on
those
low
battery
settings-
powered ones are really sturdy too.
Oh, I know, yeah.
I
but-
got a battery powered one at the house, and it's fucking monster.
Oh yeah, it is. But
But you replaced the blade first, though, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not gonna stick it out or stick it up my butt with a fucking
Blade attached.
Yeah.
What are you,
No,
a fucking
with a
savage?
Yeah. A dull blade, shit. That's for pussies.
So,
Apparently,
well,
it's not for anything.
but yeah. So there's that one. Then we've got Kirsten Taylor of Crayley, Pennsylvania. This is documented. 100% happened, and
Woohoo!
she
You
died.
have my attention.
Oh, she's dead. Okay, we're
Yeah.
good with it then.
Yeah,
Now you really have my attention.
she died from nipple clamps.
Did you have like hooked to the bumper of her car or
No.
something?
Her boyfriend. I
ceiling
guess.
fan.
Nope.
She got dizzy,
Nope.
passed out.
Was she lactating?
No. Apparently, her and her boyfriend had tried during sex. Before this, they had used what do you call a taser, like during sex. Well, the boyfriend thought it'd be a great idea to hook these nipple clips.
To a car battery.
To their home electrical grid.
Oh,
Yeah. And
I should have never bridged out that breaker.
and she rode the lightning.
bet she was nice and warm.
She was well done by the end of it. And so she ended up dying.
It's like, oh my god, her butthole went into these spasms,
It was so hot.
like burning hot, like it's burning my pecker off.
She quit screaming halfway through, though, so kind of killed the mood.
Like when I pulled out and disconnected the circuit, boy, I tell you, I never got off like that in my life.
But, yeah, these are
These are fucking horrific, is what they are.
yes. And
But they're fun for us to laugh at.
I admire their dedication to the orgasm.
that's what I'm saying. Is I'll give them
That's
points
it.
for creativity, just zero in execution.
Yeah. I mean, that's it.
I mean, I really want to come hard this time.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to just choking yourself in the bathroom? Like,
It's like fucking David Carradine. Just choke yourself in a closet while wearing women's lingerie.
hey, anything worth doing is worth doing right.
Yeah.
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 Doesn't matter if there's a Thai lady boy next to you.
He fucked up the end game, though, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Kind of tainted his fucking legacy.
You're supposed to come without going.
But so this next one is I'm just kind of easing back a little bit. This one isn't quite as
Fuck easing back. Hell, we're big boys.
well.
We've already heard this shit.
Yeah, but it makes me lose my faith in humanity, so I need to find something.
Well, that's
You
good.
still have faith in
we
humanity?
don't have any.
Well, see, this next one is actually a very well known.
You researched Craigslist like you did for last week or last episode, and you still have faith in humanity. That's amazing.
Well, there's dumb people, but I just people getting torn up on sex toys. They're just trying to get off, and this guy, which it's somewhat of a do-it-yourself, I guess. This is a very well-known story on Reddit called the Cumcanut.
Okay.
Again, for 200 points. Guess what it is?
Oh, is it a coconut?
Yes.
If you're like peeing, I'll cannot.
So, a gentleman in Africa had...
Was it hollowed out or inserted? I got to know.
It was inserted.
Okay.
Ooh,
Well, it was
yeah.
slightly hollowed out in the middle, but anyway, he used said coconut without issue or incident for months. And the problem,
He reused a butt coconut?
no, it wasn't a bud. He just stuck his dick in it.
Oh, I thought you said he inserted it.
No, he inserted.
Okay, so he was fucking it. Okay,
Yeah, he was
gotcha.
fucking a coconut.
Oh, that's not as
He's
interesting.
But-
fucking, yeah, that
but
really.
well, it gets more interesting.
The guy inserting the pineapples coming up.
Yeah, he didn't survive. But no, the Cumcanut is this gentleman in Africa, oddly enough, because of coconuts.
Can his
Anyway,
name be Boobly Boobly?
The coconuts and on my greatener.
In-
I got it. Click, click.
Starving Marvin.
Click, click, coconut.
But this guy,
Where'd you get the coconuts?
he supposedly used said coconut for quite a while, like a lot of months, and he hid it in his room.
Did he stuff a My Little Pony in it first? Because that would be awesome.
No, but he used it, and then he had to go away to study somewhere. And in the middle of all of that, his mother ended up switching rooms and started sleeping in his room. And her health began to decline rapidly. And she attributed it to what she thought was dead animals in the walls. It was not, sir.
Was it rotten semen in a coconut? Because that.
Yes, and the mold was giving her breathing issues, and she was developing lung infections and having all kinds of problems from breathing in his rotting semen.
Just think of that call at school. Like, click, click. Were you by chance fucking a coconut? Over and over again.
Yes, and so anyway, eventually, apparently, his family members...
You got to replace that after a while.
Yeah, you would think. Like,
I mean,
what-
it's a fucking coconut. Get a new one.
exactly.
Coconuts grow on trees.
There are so many stories on Reddit of people like keeping, like one guy has a cum box that he just comes in, like just a box, like a shoe box, and he just jacks off into it, and he's done it for months. He tried to throw it away at one point, he couldn't, and then he tried to burn
It
it.
keeps showing back up like Annabelle.
Yeah,
And a balls.
it's like but yeah, there's so many stories. These people like, why the fuck don't you just throw it away? Or what happened to the fucking landing strip of toilet paper? Like, isn't that
Or like, if you still got it wet, just fling it out of the window of a moving car.
Exactly.
Or some unexpected pedestrians. Or unexpecting pedestrians.
or put free shoes and just drop it out beside a a business or restaurant.
Or if you have a lot of friends come over, just wipe it on their pillowcase.
I'm betting that guy doesn't have a lot of friends.
That's, yeah.
But
I'd say that's a fairly safe bet.
But Cumcanut guy had to, his family, I guess, tore into this bedroom, and wherever he'd hidden it, they found it. And so imagine that conversation with your mother. Like, yeah, Mom, I know you've
That's what
had
I said.
infections, you know. I know, that's what I'm
Click,
saying.
click.
Have you been jacking off in a coconut?
It's like, why did you put the umbrella and swizzle straw in it?
Nobody was going to drink that.
It's like, were you trying? Did you think we wouldn't notice?
I was trying to show the professor a new way to power the radio.
Glowing coconuts?
That would work.
So,
That would never work. Or would it?
So to dive back in, we've got
Thank God.
yes, we've got
We
Jennifer.
don't want to stray from this topic.
Yeah, we
Yes.
don't want to miss out on one of these gems.
Yes, Jennifer Phillips of Canton, Ohio. Her boyfriend was a woodworker. So,
Was
well, I guess is. I guess still is.
okay.
But anyway,
No fatality on this one. All right.
so
Well, it's
well,
only half as fun then.
real close, But
You know what? If they're really close, that means they can still feel shame. So okay,
I was about to say that means they have to
Yes.
live with the shame.
Yep.
so
Okay, keep
anyway,
going.
the boyfriend was a woodworker, and so I guess she I don't know who actually commissioned the piece, but so he carved up a dildo, but
He forgot
He-
to sand it.
yes, and he forgot to lacquer it.
Yeah, you got to waterproof those sons of bitches.
Yeah, I know, because it's just gonna rot. It just
Baby's gonna get wet.
that that just invites moisture. Okay, a good 2 layers of a good varnish will fix you right up.
God damn! Just think of fucking like going down on her after that, and it just smells like fucking lacquer.
Smells like a fucking Lowe's.
It's like, ugh.
It smells like when you wake up hungover
Like,
on a hardwood floor.
Did you douche
Yeah.
with Thompson's water seal?
It's Scotch Guard.
Ugh.
So anyway,
Like, it tastes like I'm eating paint chips.
so apparently it was a 10-inch deal with a handle on the end. And I guess he did not use a sturdy enough wood.
Did he pay extra for the pistol grip?
He shaved.
No,
I guess
it's a
he made
fucking
it.
dowel rod.
I guess. But anyway, so the first time she used it, I guess again she got a little too vigorous, and it broke off inside her, ass.
I like how you went so far to try to come up with a delicate term, and then ass comes out.
Yes.
Well done. That's a good delivery right there. Ass.
7 inches of this homemade dildo got stuck in her ass. And so for a week, she allowed it to stay in there because she was too embarrassed. And
Well, that's what you need. You need to graft onto it before you.
Yeah,
get it removed.
yeah.
so after a week of not shitting, basically having a cork up in there, she decides to go to the emergency room, and it was so
The proverbial log jam.
yes, with no cable fixed.
Nope.
So the doctor, it was so embedded in her ass that the doctor basically told her that she had a 90% chance of being forced into a colostomy bag for the rest of her life. And so, but, as luck would have it, they did get it out after massive infection, and she had a big healing and physical therapy and all this shit from getting a wooden dildo stuck in her ass.
He probably didn't get too many carpentry jobs after that either.
No, because that's shabby work.
I don't know. When he puts something in, it stays.
So-
Yeah, but by God, it's just shoddy work because it
Well,
broke.
the funniest part is what happened after that. was
We haven't got to the funny part.
it's funny,
I
but
thought the funny part was ass.
but the funniest part, or what, not one of the funniest parts, was after this, after she recovered, she started a foundation, and now she goes around and does speeches and seminars for couples, warning about the dangers of homemade
Don't
sex
put
toys.
unsanded, lacquer-free wooden dildos up your asshole.
Exactly. And so not only does she have to live with the shame, she has to stare at people who judge her constantly.
Only use treated wood. Don't treat it yourself.
Oh my God! And yeah, make sure you reinforce the handle.
Exactly. And but so I'm assuming through her entire ordeal, she probably gets quite a lot of awkward questions.
Oh my God! Speaking of awkward questions, do we cut here?